that relate to some of the points we just heard from the county executive and the DA briefly. When I started as Attorney General, one of the first conversations I had with the DA afterwards was about school safety and about how important it was to him to build the kinds of models that we are talking about here today. And that's a conversation that we have continued and built upon over the last several years. At the same time, then legislator, Representative Kirkman was, as she mentioned, co-chair of the audit committee. And not long after I took office, we found out that our Office of School Safety was going to be audited. And for those of you who have been a part of an audit, that's not usually something you're excited to hear. But the audit committee made it clear that it was, and I hope I'm not sharing any state secrets here, that it was a friendly audit. And what they meant by that was that they wanted to use it as an opportunity to use the audit process to learn more about school safety and how we could build on school safety and develop safer schools around the state. And so we went through a process where we talked about what the Office of School Safety was doing. Legislators made suggestions for how they thought we could improve upon or expand upon the work that was doing. And through that process, we really built a partnership with a number of legislators, and I'm happy to say that the audit committee certainly lived up to what they promised us at the start. We also identified some areas that we could expand the work that the Office of School Safety was doing, and I've also met directly with then Representative Kirkman on school safety as we work to figure out how to make our schools safer in Wisconsin. So really you have not just local but statewide leaders who are working on this, and I know that the local law enforcement agencies here and the schools have been playing a critical role in developing your school safety program as well. So it is no surprise that Kenosha is where an innovative, thoughtful, really leading program around the state is being developed. So first I just want to congratulate you all on this accomplishment, on the progress that's being made, and let you know that this really is a model. Bringing everybody to the table, everybody together, you can see it in this room as we move forward. This is the most effective way to keep our schools in Wisconsin safe. And this program is one of the models that we are looking forward to pointing to as we talk to other school districts about what can be done to keep our schools safe. So no pressure, but you really are a model. One point I want to make is that targeted violence is preventable. When we see these tragedies happen, there's often questions about what could have been done differently. And then a few weeks later, so often we see this pattern play out where the news cycle moves on to something else. But people who have really studied this know that these tragedies can be prevented because targeted violence is planned. Often, there is somebody in the community who's aware that somebody has a plan to commit violence. But unless that information is shared with people who are able to respond and intervene, that information can't keep our schools safe. So creating as many pathways for people to report concerns about violence is critical to keeping kids safe in our schools. I also think it's really important that we think about this through the eyes of a teacher. Teachers are of course focused primarily on educating their students, but for those of you who've been in a classroom, occasionally students misbehave, and teachers need to think about how they respond to that situation. And of course there are different levels of misbehavior, but distinguishing between typical adolescent behavior, kids acting out, as happens day in and day out in schools across probably the world, versus something that's really a danger to the safety of our students. That's not something that we know intuitively. It's something that research shows us when those situations arise, and having common practices, having an understanding of what that research shows, it leads to results that lead to safer schools, it leads to more equitable interventions, and ultimately it leads to more success for kids in our schools. So it's vitally important that these kinds of programs are in place. At the state level, we have sort of advanced in parallel to what we've been hearing about in Kenosha County. The Office of School Safety was created in 2018 with a large grant program that has helped provide funding for physical security upgrades in schools. It's also provided funding that went into training on social and emotional learning and other programs in schools. And our Office of School Safety has innovated over the last several years, developing a threat assessment protocol that continues to assess threats. It's developed a school safety guidebook, critical incident response teams and a Speak Up, Speak Out program, a program that can be contacted by anybody in the state associated with the school environment who has concerns about a threat. We have trained analysts who are prepared to respond. And I want to emphasize that that program is a supplement to what's being done at local school districts. We encourage everybody who's got concerns about school safety to contact your local school officials, contact local law enforcement, the DA, contact somebody locally. But for kids who don't feel comfortable reaching out or would like another place to reach out, or parents for that matter, or school officials, SUSO, the Speak Up, Speak Out program, offers another opportunity to report. You can do that online at speakup.widoj.gov, at 1-800-MY-SUSO-1, or on our mobile app. You can go to our website at Speak Up, Speak Out and learn more about that. So again, I want to just thank everybody who has been a part of getting this project off the ground. We look forward to seeing all of the accomplishments that this program has. And I believe that I'm the last listed speaker, but like all good prosecutors, DA Gravely has reserved time for rebuttal. So let me turn it back over to him. Thank you.